Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope you all are fit and fine. So, children, today's our topic is translation of chapter 6, Molecular Basis of Inheritance. Children, what do you mean by translation? So, simply, translation means the protein synthesis, and the proteins are the long chain of the amino acids. You can see in this picture the big diagram of the ribosomes. There are two subunits of the ribosomes. The first is the large subunit of the ribosome and the second is the small subunit of the ribosome. And there are various codons are present. Messenger RNA, transfer RNA are also present. So children, the translation is the process of polymerization of the amino acids to form a polypeptide based on the sequence of the codon in the messenger RNA. It takes place in the ribosomes, and the ribosome consists of the structural RNAs and about the 80 types of proteins, so that the ribosomes also act as a catalyst, and it is also used for the formation of the peptide bond, which is peptidyl transferase enzyme in the large subunit of the ribosomes. So children, there are mainly four steps of the translation. The first step of the translation is the charging of transfer RNA. After that, the initiation, elongation, and the termination process. The first charging means the amino acylation of the transfer RNA. This is the diagram of the transfer RNA and amino acylation of the transfer RNA. What happens in this process? The formation of the peptide bond needs the energy obtained from the adenosine triphosphate. For this process, the amino acids are activated and linked to their cognate transfer RNA. In the presence of the amino acyl transfer RNA synthetase enzyme. So it is also called the alanine amino acids. So the transfer RNA becomes charged. After the charging, initiation complex will form. So in this, the small subunit of the ribosomes binds to the messenger RNA at the start codon, and we know the start codon is AUG. Now the large subunit binds to the small subunit to form an initiation complex. After that, the large subunit consists of the amino acyl transfer RNA binding site. It is also called the A site, and the peptidyl site is called the P site. The initiator transfer RNA, which carries the methionine, binds on the P site, and it's the anticodon UAC which recognize the start codon AUG. After the initiation process, the elongation done, in which the second amino acyl transfer RNA binds to A site of the RNA of the ribosomes, and its anticodon binds to the second codon of the messenger RNA, and a peptide bond is formed between the first and second amino acid in the presence of the peptidyl transferase. So children, the first amino acid and its transfer RNA are broken, and this transfer RNA is removed from P site, and second transfer RNA from the A site is pulled to the P site along with the messenger RNA, so that this is called the translocation process. These processes are repeated for the other codons in the messenger RNA, and during the translation process the ribosomes moves codon to codon. And the last process is the termination process, in which when a release factor binds to the stop codon, the translation terminates and the polypeptide and the transfer RNA are released from the ribosome. And after that, the ribosome dissociate into the large and the small subunits. So children, a group of ribosomes associated with a single messenger RNA for the translation is called the polyribosomes, or we can say the polysomes. And an mRNA or the messenger RNA has additional sequence that are not translated, which are untranslated regions, so that these untranslated regions or UTRs are present at both the fifth end before the start codon and third end after the stop codon, so that they are required for the efficient translation process. So after this topic we are going to discuss the regulation of the gene expression. So in the eukaryotes, the gene expression occurs by the four processes. The first process is the transcriptional level, or the formation of the primary transcript. The second is the processing level. The processing level involves the splicing or the capping process. The third is the transport of the messenger RNA from the nucleus to the cytoplasm. And the fourth process is the translation level, means the formation of the polypeptide. So children, you can see in this picture the nucleus and the cytoplasm of the cell, and the processes are going on in these are called the regulation of the gene expression. So children, the metabolic or physiological and the environmental conditions regulate the gene expression. In the E. coli, the beta galactosidase enzyme hydrolyzes the lactose into the galactose and glucose, and in the absence of the lactose, the synthesis of the beta galactosidase stops, so that the development and the differentiation of the embryo into the adult are as a result of the expression of the several sets of genes. And we know, if a substrate is added to the growth medium of a bacteria, a set of genes is switched on to the metabolized it, and it is called the induction process. And when the metabolite or the product is added, the genes to produce it are turned off, and it is called the repression. This is, you can see the picture, the E. coli growth medium in a culture plate. So children, the concept of the operon is said that there are different types of the operons. Each metabolic reaction is controlled by a set of genes, and all the genes regulating a metabolic reaction constitute an operon. So the examples of the operons are the LAC operon, TRP operon, ARA operon. There are different types of the operons are present. Now we are going to discuss only the LAC operon. The LAC operon is the operon controlling the lactose metabolism, and it is proposed by the Francois Jacob and the Jacques Monod. So children, the LAC operon consists, there are three steps. The first is the regulatory or the inhibitor genes, which codes for the repression proteins. The second is the three structural genes, Z gene, Y gene and A gene, and an operator gene. So that gene in the operon function together in the same or related the metabolic pathway. So children, the Y genes code for the beta galactosidase. It hydrolyzes the lactose to galactose and glucose. And the Y gene codes for the permease enzyme. It increases the permeability of the cell to beta galactosidase, or we can say the lactose. And the A gene codes for the transacylation process. So children, the LAC operon, if there is no lactose or no inducer, LAC operon remains switched off. And the regulator genes synthesize mRNA or the messenger RNA to produce the repression proteins. This protein binds to the operator regions and block the RNA polymerase movement, so that the structural genes are not expressed in the absence of the inducer. So you can see in this diagram the LAC operon model, there are the regulator genes are there, and in the absence of the inducer, the repressor mRNA and the repressor proteins. And the second condition, if the lactose is provided in the growth medium, the lactose is transported into the E. coli cells by the action of the permease, and the lactose is the inducer which binds with the repressor proteins so that the repressor proteins cannot bind to the operator genes and the operator regions become free, and induces the RNA polymerase to bind with the promoter genes. Then the transcription start. So hope children this topic is clear. You can see in this picture the transcription process, then the translation process in the presence of the trans acetylase, permease and beta galactosidase enzyme, where the lactose metabolism occurs in the presence of the growth medium. So children, hope this topic is clear. Any query you can write in query box. Today's your homework is to write down the notes of the regulation of gene expression and the translation process. And after that complete the question answers of chapter 6. Thank you children.